students. So all students who come into any college within New York State, the law requires that they submit proof of MMR and meningitis. So the meningitis is not required. What is required is that your student just acknowledges if they are vaccinated or if they are not vaccinated. MMR is required, but it is also required for K through 12 schools. So most of the time it is not an issue and people have their records. New York State law does mandate that if students don't upload their records by September 25th, we do have to withdraw them. That has never happened at ESF. We have not had to do that. So let's keep up that record. And then it's very, very simple to log into our portal to upload the records. And I'll show you at the next slide. So our portal has been in a lot of the newsletters. It's on the new student checklist. The way that you can access it is right from our ESF health and wellness page. And this is what the portal looks like when you log into it. The directions are right there.
Know how to do that?
You have to click the immunizations tab. And then if you could go to the next slide, I'll show you what that looks like. So once you
Do you know
click,
how to get to your immunization portal?
sorry, what was that? So once you, on the left-hand side, click immunizations, this is what the slide then looks like. You will click the MMR and the meningitis dropdown and then just enter in the dates and then click save, which will come up right at the bottom. So then if you go to the next slide, which is clicking uploads, which is on the left-hand side, you just upload the record that will come from your doctor's office. A lot of times students just take a picture with their cell phone of the record and just upload it that way. And that is all you have to do.
All right. Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Mecca. I am the Assistant Community Manager for Centennial Hall. I'm in charge of all of the housing stuff, so your contracts and your signings and all that kind of stuff. On the video with me as well are my two resident education coordinators. I'll see if they want to introduce themselves. If not, I'll just give you their names as well.
Hi, everybody. We're actually together, so we can introduce ourselves at the same time. I'm sorry, it's blurred in the background. You might have to get a little closer. I'm Jessie. I'm one of the residential experience coordinators here that lives in the building.
And I'm Megan. I'm the other residential experience coordinator here in Centennial Hall. Nice to meet you all.
We'll be in the chat ready to answer questions. So nice to meet everyone.
So there are two both amazing people. They're the ones that are in charge of your resident assistants, the student staff who live in a building with you. They do amazing programming. They're the ones that you can meet up with throughout the year and schedule appointments with. You can also deal with me as well, but they're very, very good professionals in the building to help support you all. So jumping in, moving into Centennial Hall, we're at that point now where move-in is less than a month away. So for our first year students, we have two designated days for you before orientation starts. Monday, August 19th, and then Tuesday, August 20th. The email has gone out to all students at that time who had a signed contract. Those went out July 17th. If you didn't get it, either you didn't see it or you didn't have a contract at that time. So if you don't have it, it should be titled "Reserve Your Move-In Time." If you don't have it, just ask our email here, and we will send you the links to sign up. Just do note a lot of our early times on the 19th are full, and so see what is available. And we take requests case by case, but generally you've got to stay to those sign up times so we don't have hundreds and hundreds of people come at the same time. We have long lines to the elevators. That's why we have those set times for signups. And that is for our first year students. You can move in past the 20th, but you will miss a lot of your orientation schedule. So if you do have situations that happen, just let us know so that we can accommodate for you and know that you're coming in either that Thursday or that Friday. All right. So we have a couple lists here about what to bring and what not to bring. You'll also get this in email, and we post throughout the next couple of weeks on our social media some fun things about this. But just for the few that are on this call, you are the first ones to see these lists. So a lot of it is good, some common sense, but we definitely want to make sure it's listed here. So the big part is our twin beds that are for you in your rooms are XL. So when you're buying those sheets and everything, make sure that they are that twin XL. The regular twin sheets and bedding won't fit because they are long. Um, so again, all the just the normal stuff you'd need during the year, your clothing, your bath towels, all your toiletries and everything. The nice thing about Centennial Hall is you have your bathroom in your room and you're just sharing with just your roommates, which is really nice. But you still need all those items. We also have our laundry rooms, and so you will need to provide your own laundry detergent and dryer sheets and everything. Also, knowing that you do also have your own bathroom, you'll be supplying your own toilet paper. So making sure that you're connecting with your roommates on who's buying what when. All the other kind of stuff that you really need, all of your information, your identification that you may need. We do go on a couple trips throughout the year. So last year we went hiking at Newcomb. So things like that you may need as well. We do have you can get packages and stuff here at the building. So if you do forget anything or you buy something online, once you get your room number, which that email will go out next week, once you have your room number in that email, it will have the mailing address and the rules that you can start mailing stuff after August 15th. So all of that information will be slowly coming out to you in the next week or so with all of that detailed move-in information. You can go to the next one, Renee. So things to leave at home. So right off the bat, the number one thing is we provide your microwaves and your fridges. So that you're actually not allowed to bring any of that. So at any building that any room type you're in, we provide that for you. And so once you get here, it's working with your roommates on sharing that space in that micro fridge or that mini fridge, that set. There hasn't been too many people who overexert that amount. So you just got to work with your roommates. We have fire policies here, so we don't allow any of those open flame items or hot surface places, like grills and that kind of stuff. And so making sure you have all that stuff left out at home. And there's a whole bunch of other here. You can read through them as well. And this list will also be in those emails, making sure that you are following those policies. We also keep an eye out in our mail. Sometimes somebody will send something and it's really obvious something that they can't have. We'll have sometimes somebody bring in, order a fridge through the mail, and we'll just reach out and say, hey, are you on the accommodation list? And if you're not, we ask you to return it, or we'll return it we'll do RTS for you. So this is a list to really take note of. Make sure that you have not brought anything with you, so they can, if you have, make sure it goes back home or mail it back home, because they're on that list for our safety policies and for what we provide you in the room.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Of course.
Kind of going along, so all first year students who live in Centennial Hall are required to purchase a meal plan. The way our meal plans work are we work with Syracuse University and our students will eat in the dining facilities there. But there's a dining facility right across the street from Centennial. You can see from Centennial Hall. So there's one very close, but there's also students have access to all the different dining facilities on SU's campus. So students should be able to start signing up for that next week. Since this is handled through Syracuse University, students will be signing up through their MySlice account. So using their MySlice with their SU credentials, there's an icon for housing and meal plans. So click on that and students will be able to select their meal plan that way. The bills for meal plans are on a little bit of a different cycle because they are handled through SU Bursar's office. So the bills are going to go out on September 23rd and are due on October 14th. So SU Bursar will email out copies or will email students when those bills are available. So it's kind of note those dates for that since they are different from our tuition deadline dates. Kind of looking at, there's 3 different options that first year students get to select from for their meal plans. We require that students have at least a block 85, but they get to pick any one of the 3 that they would like. So there's a block 85, which is 85 swipes for the semester. Then they get $500 in CUES cash, Oh, we asked they also think get $500 Q's cash, and that includes $200 of dining dollars. Block 130 is 130 swipes in a semester, plus the 500 Q's cash and 200 dining dollars. And the orange unlimited is an unlimited number of swipes throughout the semester. And this chart kind of shows a little bit of the difference between the dining dollars and the Q's cash. Um, the dining dollars can be used in different dining halls. So if students need to buy stuff, Q's Cash is available in more variety of locations around Syracuse University. So information kind of for that is all on the website also. But if you have questions, please let us know. But no, if you haven't been able to sign up for a meal plan yet, that is why it should be next week that they start opening up for that. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Hill. I'm the Director of Financial Aid. And first, let me just start by saying that we are well aware of all the delays this year with the FAFSA and how many challenges there have been. And I think all the families have done a fantastic job of getting through this. And I do believe that most of us are in a very good spot now in terms of completing tasks. And most of you, I think, are on the kind of tail end of all the steps needed for financial aid processing. So well done with all of that. And what I'd like to do is just very briefly kind of give you some guidance as to how to continue to interact with your financial aid information. If you haven't done that yet, this will get you started and hopefully keep you on the path to knowing what's going on with your financial aid. So if you don't know how to do this yet, I'm sure most of you probably do, but being able to get into the MyESF portal is going to be very important when it comes to all things financial aid and then your billing and later on your course registration and lots of other important things you would have to be doing as a student. So after you get into the MyESF portal, you'll see the menu items that are typically on the left-hand side of your screen. So on the right side of this slide, you'll see some of the common menu items. And to get to your financial aid information very clearly there, you would just click on that link in the red circle. And then once you get into the financial aid section, the page will have a series of tabs across the top. So on the bottom of the slide here, you can see all those different tabs. The nice thing is for most students, you really only need to be aware of those first two. So the home tab, which is always where you're going to start, but then to actually see almost all of the important financial aid information, you're going to use that award offer tab. So those two are really the key pieces that you're going to need to know about. So anytime you go in, make sure you're looking at both of those. So after you get in, if you could just bump to the next slide, thanks. Um, so on the offer tab that I had highlighted, there's a number of pieces of information that you'll want to be aware and know how to understand those things. So when you go in and look at that tab, the very first thing you're going to see is what we call your cost of attendance. And this can sometimes cause some confusion because this is basically a list of estimated expenses that we assume the student will have for the school year. But this is not a bill from the college, and this is not meant to tell you exactly what kind of charges you're going to have. And the reason is because this is basically a budget we're going to be using to determine how much financial aid we can offer to the student. So you can certainly use this budget for your planning purposes. You could come up with your own budget if you'd like to do that, but don't assume that what you see in this cost of attendance represents what you're going to see as charges. There are even expenses in this cost of attendance which are not going to be on any bill at all. So for example, books and supplies are an expense we can include, but we're not going to bill you for those items. We're also not going to bill you for things like personal expenses or transportation, but we can include that here because we can offer financial aid to help with that. So that's the first thing you're going to see in the aid package. Next, you're going to see a section that will have all of your estimated grants and scholarships, or as we like to call it, your free money, or in most cases, money that you wouldn't have to repay. So this is the best type of financial aid, and the section will list each individual item and the amounts that we are either aware of or have estimated for you, and then it's going to total up all of that free money for you. And that's an important part of the process because you'll see all the money that's going to basically come off of your bill for you. And we're actually going to subtract that total of your grants and scholarships from the cost of attendance to give you a net cost value, which is the next section in the aid package. So that can be helpful in planning. That's probably the closest we're ever going to get to the magic question of what's it really going to cost me bottom line to go to school. But again, keep in mind that we're using estimated cost of attendance information and we're simply subtracting the gift aid from that total. Once we've done that, we're then going to go into what we call the self-help aid section, which is basically going to include any kind of federal loans, which could be student loans, parent loans, or work study programs. Sometimes we get some confusion because of the concept of accepting your financial aid. And as a general rule, you don't accept your financial aid package as a blanket item. Instead, you would accept or decline certain things within the financial aid package. So when you're reviewing all this information in this self-help section, this is where you're going to see the items that would require the student to tell us, yes, I would like to take those. No, I would not, or I'd like to accept them, but lower the amount that's there. So this is going to be for the student loans, parent loans, and the work study. So if you have not gone in yet as a student, this is really the first step that you want to go through to make sure you're telling us what your intentions are with the different types of aid that are offered to you. Each one of those items will have its own set of responses. So you can't just say, I want to accept all of them. You have to do this for each item. And then after you select the option for those items, make sure you go down to the bottom of the page and click the submit button, or it's never going to send us that information. Once you have done that, if you go back to the Home tab, which is that first tab from the navigation menu, that will automatically update based on the responses you have provided. So, for example, if you say, I'd like to accept a student loan, and then you submit that and go back to the Home tab, it will then list the requirements that the student has to complete in order to actually get that loan that they have accepted. So as soon as you've done those submissions, go back to that home tab, make sure you then follow the guidance there to complete each one of those tasks, and that will make sure that all of your financial aid can process properly. And lastly, here's some contact info, and I'll share this in the chat or with whatever other method you would prefer. It's also up on our website. We are more than happy to accept communications in any format here. Just a couple quick notes with regards to our communication. And this first one is really important for all students for all kinds of reasons, but it's really important that as a student, you're checking your syr.edu address regularly. This is the official method of communication for the college. So if you're not checking that, you could very easily miss out on important notices about billing, financial aid, or other important things. And then this comes up for us quite a bit. And this is an important thing to remember just to keep yourself safe. And that is that you should never use email to send any kind of documentation that contains your personal information. And it's not uncommon for us to have to ask for copies of your tax returns or applications or other documentation. And email can be very convenient to send that, but it's not encrypted. So as soon as you send it by email, it gets onto servers that are not safe. And if someone hacks into those, they could very easily steal that personal information. So if you ever need to send us anything, please be sure to use other methods. You can mail it, you can fax it. I think we're one of the few offices on campus that still has a fax machine. And you can use our upload features that are available through the portal, but please just don't use email to do that. And if you have any other questions, feel free to jot those into the chat. And again, reach out to us anytime. We're pretty much always here ready to answer the phone if you want to give us a call or shoot us an email. And thank you all.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle McNeil. I'm the bursar here. The bills were sent out on July 15th. They're not paper bills. They are found on your student portal, the ESF student portal. We send an email blast to all students, just letting them know that their bill is out there. The bills are due August 15th. As Mark was saying, they've been working on getting financial aid package for everyone. When you look at your bill, because financial aid isn't posted to students' accounts yet, and you want to pay it before the due date of August 15th, you need to take your total charges and subtract out your pending aid. And if there's still a balance due, then that's the amount you pay by the 15th. We do offer interest-free payment plans. They're found on the same site where you see your bill. It does cost $35 for an application fee, and that's a per semester fee if you sign up every semester. If you sign up by August 15th, you can take your balance due and divide it over four equal installments. If you don't sign up until after the 15th, you've lost one installment, so you're down to 3 installments, but you're still able to sign up. Renee already mentioned the meal plan, so I'm going to skip that line. If for some reason at any time during the semester, you are eligible for a refund off of your student account, we use a company called Bank Mobile. It's a third-party company. I don't know if they have started sending anything out to students yet, but if they have, it's important to read. It's not spam. If you haven't had anything come from them yet, be on the lookout. We do use them. Once we send them the refund file, they will process your refund based on the preference you set up with them. And if you set up a bank account to have a direct deposit done, you will get your money within 24 to 48 hours. If you don't choose a preference, they wait 21 days and send a paper check to the home address. So we highly recommend setting up a preference. You get your money faster, especially if you need that money to pay Syracuse University for the meal plan. And I also just want to mention real quick, dropping courses. If you do that after the first week, you're still financially responsible for a portion of the cost of that class, tuition and fees. Reach out or review. You can go to our Bursar website. There is a liability schedule there, which gives you the breakdown of the percentage you're liable for each week of the semester. After the fourth week of the semester, you're 100% liable for any classes you drop. And on the next slide is just our contact information. We're right down the hall from financial aid and the registrar and student affairs. We're all kind of gathered together. 103 Bray Hall. We have an email address. We have a phone number. We have our website. We're here for you. We're here to make your life easier. We might be bad people by asking for your money, but we're really nice people. We're here to help, so don't hesitate to reach out. We want to help you. We don't want you struggling. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Beth Menard. I'm the Associate Registrar, and congratulations on your admission. We're looking forward to working with you. We are working on registering all of you for your required classes. Please be patient with us because there are a lot of you, and so we're getting everything set. And schedules are subject to change, especially if you haven't sent in all of your stuff yet, which I'll get to in a minute. But your schedules will be ready by the time you arrive for orientation for your required classes. You will meet with faculty at orientation, and during the department meetings, you'll have advisement, and then you'll have plenty of time to make schedule changes after that. We have set times in the computer labs where staff and orientation leaders will be there to help you with the registration system and get your schedule set and make any changes that you need to make at that point. So just please be patient and we'll get everything set. And by the time you get through orientation, you'll be ready to start classes on the 26th. Be sure that you have sent to the admissions office first your final high school transcript, because if you don't send that, then we have to put a hold on your record for registration for the following semester. So please make sure they get your final high school transcript, but also any college transcripts. If you took college courses in high school, make sure that they get official transcripts so that we can get you credit for that. Also, if you took advanced placement or international baccalaureate exams, please make sure they get those scores as soon as possible, because that could affect your schedule. And we don't want you to take a class that you don't need to take. That's the worst thing that happens, is when a student shows up in my office halfway through the semester and they realize that they shouldn't have taken the class. So please make sure they get all of that, and as soon as possible. If it comes in during orientation, then you'll have to work with your advisor to adjust your schedule. But if we get it beforehand, then we can try and make those changes for you. I will be at orientation, and there will be a full session on how to use DegreeWorks, which is our audit system to track your degree requirements, and also how to use MySlice and the registration system. So you don't need to worry about that. You'll get plenty of information about that at orientation. If you're thinking about changing your major, or you've already decided to change your major and you want to do that before you arrive, please email the admissions office, and then we will do our best to adjust your schedule before orientation. Advisor assignments will be made in the next few weeks, but just please be patient with them. Many of our faculty advisors are doing research and field work and other things in the summer, and they will not be back on campus until right around orientation. But you will have advisors at orientation. It may not be your advisor, but you will have faculty or a professional advisor from your department that will be able to help you get your schedule set. And I look forward to working with you, and I will be here for any questions, and I will see you at orientation. Good luck.
Thank you, Beth. So Beth kind of set me up to talk a little bit about first year orientation. So what is that actually going to look like? So this is kind of just a brief overview, but just to give you an idea about what's going to kind of happen that week. So move-in is Monday the 19th and on Tuesday the 20th. And then kind of the first official kickoff for orientation is at 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday the 20th for our new student and family welcome. So family members and supporters are welcome to come to this welcome also, be led by our president. It's really kind of welcome you to our campus. After that wraps up, at that point, usually families, parents, guardians depart at that point. And our students go off and have a big kind of welcome dinner together, really just kind of bonding together and getting excited to be here at ESF. Wednesday, the focus is really on academics. So Beth mentioned she'll be doing a presentation about degree works. Students will learn all about different academic resources, how to set yourself up for academic success while you're here, meeting with departments, meeting with different advisors, making schedule adjustments. So really taking care of some of those academic components while you're here. Thursday, our goal is really kind of building a culture of respect here at ESF. So kind of an overview of different policies, our values here, and community expectations, what it means to be a student here at ESF. Friday, we give some time for students to wrap up any last minute business they might need to take care of. So if they need to go talk to financial aid, or if they want to go look at their textbooks, or they want to do tours around campus, we'll also have some different fun activities sprinkled in throughout that day. And then Saturday is our traditional Saturday of service. We wrap up our orientation week with students going out into the Syracuse community and doing some different types of community service, just really give back with different staff members. There's different fun programming offered in the evening. So there'll be an ice cream truck one night, a silent disco one night. We'll do a movie in the quad one night. There's lots of just different opportunities to meet your peers, get connected, learn about ESF, and just really get you ready for the first week of classes the week after that. So we're so excited to have you join us here in just a few weeks.
And I'm Allie O'Mara. I am the coordinator of academic success here at ESF. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about starting yourself off on a good foot to succeed during your time, especially your first semester at ESF. I'm going to give you an overview of some of our resources, but I'm going to start with a couple of reminders to keep close to heart as you start your academic journey at ESF. The first thing to remember is to seek support before you need it. A lot of students come to ESF and learn that they are maybe not performing as well as they have previously. College is different than high school. The skills and strategies that you'll need to navigate new classes and new schedules and new expectations aren't the same things that you would have used in high school. But support at ESF is really abundant, and we encourage you to sign up and attend all of our support resources before you actually desperately need them in order to ensure that you'll have a successful time and a smooth transition from high school to college. We're here to support your experience and all of the skills and talents that you bring with you from high school into college, and to help you figure out what new tools you want to develop as a college student. The other point that I'll remind folks is that engaged students are successful students. So do what you can to get engaged as soon as you get here. There are a lot of awesome faculty that we have here at ESF, your academic advisors, the staff are very helpful. And there are opportunities to connect with your peers through clubs and internships and volunteer opportunities and other kinds of programs that will help you get connected to your community at ESF and beyond. College is a time to reach out and build relationships, especially that first semester of college. So go to class, pay attention, ask questions. It's really your time to shine. I mentioned that we have abundant academic success resources here at ESF and beyond. We at the Academic Success Center, we have our flagship peer tutoring program where students can get expert advice from folks who have taken the class or TA'd for the class previously for most of our 100 and 200 level courses, as well as some more difficult 300 level courses. We also offer one-on-one academic coaching, which is an opportunity for you to sit down with an academic coach like me or a graduate practicum coach to really take an inventory of your current skill set and your goals as a college student here at ESF, and identify what tools you want to add to that toolkit and learn how to build some of those success strategies like time management and test taking skills, as well as learning how to do some active studying. We also have skill building workshops where you can meet with your peers to develop some of those executive function skills. And you can use our team study rooms to work with group projects or to form your own study group with folks who are in your first year courses. The Math Center offers drop-in tutoring for most 100 and 200 level courses. We also have a writing resource center for support with all writing related tasks, from interpreting assignments to brainstorming responses to getting the job done, taking notes, revising your writing assignments, and everything in between. Our public speaking lab offers support with presentations and developing content and tackling those public speaking nerves. And our English for Speakers of Other Languages center offers additional support for students with a multiple linguistic background who want to understand more of academic culture in the US and develop opportunities for practicing with the particular English language that we use in STEM environments, as well as more culturally. Faculty and TA office hours are often posted in your course syllabi, and those are really excellent opportunities to review material, to learn more about the instructor's approach to the material, to get practice problems to work on before your exams. And your academic advisor is there to help you for more than registering for your classes. They really understand your major and some of the career trajectories that are available to you. So they're a great resource to have in your community to help you make informed choices about the courses that you're taking and what to expect in your major and in life at ESF. Additional academic success resources that you have access to, because we really take a holistic approach to academic success. The SU Center for Disability Resources helps with individual accommodations and as well as some technology support for students who have learning disabilities or other mobility disabilities. It's an excellent resource to connect with now, long before you've even chosen or registered for your courses. And I always recommend that students schedule the welcome meeting, even if they are eligible for accelerated consideration for accommodations. Students who are taking physics at SU have access to the SU's physics clinic. And over back again on the ESF side, our counseling center is an incredible resource for first year students who are learning what it's like to be a young adult and to attend college at the first time. They can help with a range of approaches and connect you with additional resources, whether through timely care or in the community. ESF student support and academic integrity are also offices you may interface with to learn more about how to do well in college, or if you have health concerns or need to understand how to connect to resources off campus. The ESF student support is an incredible resource for you. Our librarians at ESF and at SU are great for research assistants, but also librarians know everything. So if you need help getting access to, say, a bicycle with ESF's bike share program, or if you want to learn how to really anything, their job is learning how to learn and understanding how to get information. And they're an incredible resource for everything related to your academics and beyond. Students who are at ESF have access to something called AXS test files, which is a vetted bank of tests, graded quizzes, old syllabi. The professors at ESF have approved for all students to have access to. It's been compiled and is maintained by our Honor Society AXS, and it's an incredible resource that is legitimate and is not cheating for students to prepare for quizzes and exams. And as I mentioned, engaged students are successful students. Connect with some clubs or organizations, find your people, develop your community, find the folks who will be your mentors, as well as your support system, and keep you engaged and thriving at ESF.
Awesome. Well, thank you all again so much for your time today. I think we're keeping up with some of the questions in the chat, but now's the opportunity to ask any questions you might have. You're welcome to send something in the chat, unmute yourself, ask a question to the group. If you think of something later, there's a lot of contact information throughout the slideshow, but if you don't remember or you're not sure even where to start, you can always email students@esf.edu, and then we'll help filter and make sure you get to the right place. So we'll turn off the recording before we get to the questions, but like I said, please let us know if you have any questions at all.